Hello everyone, good afternoon, good morning, or good night, depending on wherever in the world you're in. So this video is my first video for my Unheard Women series. And I recently made a post on my discussions board about an update on that. Actually, I just today decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna make those two platforms into one, because I had come up with two separate platforms because I love the title of both. But honestly, like, one was called Sacred Woman Tea Time, and then the other one is called Unheard Women. And I'm like, you know what, the vibe of Sacred Woman Tea Time, I can easily just mesh it into Unheard Women. Because like I said in the previous video, the introduction video, Unheard Women is meant to be a platform where it's for Black men and women to come, those who feel unheard, ignored, disregarded, discredited, silenced, you know, or just like simply not given a chance to speak, you know, or understood, to be understood. Let me turn this down just a little, even though I love that song. But yeah, so, and the energy of Sacred Women Tea Time was just somewhere for, you know, girls to gather and talk about, you know, random epiphanies that you've had along your journey, random things that come to you, and just make a discussion out of it. But I just decided to mesh those two together, and my series is just going to be called Unheard Women, and I will be letting you guys know what the topic will be as I go along each talk, I guess. So today I wanted to go ahead and start my first episode of, or I don't like to say episode, but my first talk on Unheard Women. And the topic is actually giving yourself closure. So I am trying to get to 100 subscribers so that I can talk with you guys live, and we can have a live discussion about this, and you guys can tell me your stories, tell each other our stories, because I'll be talking too. This is going to be a raw talk. So if you feel like you're too scared to open up, or you just don't want to open up about certain things that you're still kind of dealing with internally, or you're afraid of judgment, you're afraid of people's opinions, it's okay for you to keep it to yourself. That's fine. But if you're going to talk, the purpose of my series is to remind everyone that you're not going through this thing alone. You didn't have to do this alone. Like, you're not the only one that experienced this, you know, me too. You know, so that dark world that you're in, I've been there. You know, exactly there. My shit didn't happen the same way that yours did, but I felt that way. I understand that description because I've said it myself. That's the purpose of this. So in order for people to feel that way or be able to relate with you, you do have to be raw. You know, you do have to be open and honest and authentic when you are in these discussions, including me. I am not allowed to, because I ask this of you, I don't ask for what I cannot do or will not do. So I'm asking this because this is something that I plan on doing myself. I pride myself in genuity. I need genuine energy around me. I have to be genuine. If I ever feel like even I'm being inauthentic in any way, I try my best to stop myself in my tracks, or if I'm already out of the situation, I return to it and say, you know what, scratch everything I just said, here it is. But yeah, so again, today's topic is giving yourself closure. So the meaning of that is, have you ever been through something? Most of the time it has to do with relationships, or friendships, just a situation where you felt like, you know, I really wish this person would come up and apologize. I wish this person would talk to me and be open as to why they did what they did. Like, I just need to know, why did you do that? Why did you treat me this way? Why did you talk to me this way? You know, why did you hide me? Like, you know, why, you know, where a person in your life or a situation in your life either suddenly changed or walked away, and you didn't get the closure that you felt that you needed. I wrote in here a few, like, I don't want to say questions, but examples / questions, whatever. One of them is, what to discuss when it comes to this topic. One of the things I said was how it is a trying journey, and it is not an instant event. And that sometimes you have to return to mend some old wounds that are in the process of healing. Sorry for the show. I scribbled, so I was like, wow, what did I write? But yeah. So giving yourself closure is trying. It is trying. Sometimes it can feel like it's impossible, because depending on how you were hurt and how you perceived that hurt, whether you're still holding on to that hurt, it depends on where you are. You know, that is trying. That is difficult. It's hard to have to give yourself closure, you know, and sometimes you just feel like, I shouldn't have to. I can walk up and apologize, so why can't that person? I can walk up and own up to what I did, so why can't that person? You know, I get it. I get it, boo. I've been there recently. So I totally understand, you know, and with that, I also, oh yeah, and sometimes you do have to return to mend the old wounds that are in the process of healing, or wounds that you thought you've already healed. You know, you may think that you already forgave this person, but for some reason, when someone said something, it triggered an old memory, or an old memory that happened between you and this person, and it brought that hurt back. It brought that hurt back up all over again, and you're angry all over again. You're sad all over again. You even want to go and text or call this person and say and talk some shit. But in reality, that doesn't really make sense, because all this time has passed and you're reacting out of emotion. And that's hurting you even more. Because a lot of the time, this is what happens for me, at least. Whenever I used to react out of emotion and do that, you know, I'd remember something and like, you know what? And then I'd say something, and then like, you know, it would hurt me all over again, because I wouldn't get the reaction or the response that I hoped for, or maybe was it even expecting. Oh my gosh, my fly's down. But and I also wrote how you've had to give yourself closure after the closure. So that's kind of the description of how it is a trying journey and all that. So a lot of times you have to give yourself closure after the closure. You know, some of you have gotten closure. I myself, I don't think I have received what I perceive to be proper closure between me and another person before. But some people have, and they still weren't able to get that feeling of closure. That feeling of satisfaction, even though it hurts. It's like, you know what? I understand this. I can take this and I can move on, you know, even though it still hurts. So that's why I said, when you have to give yourself closure after the closure, you know, and it's a process. Whether you've gotten closure or not, all of it is a process. All of it is meant to teach you something. It's taught me something. Just the subject of closure. It's taught me patience, which I'm still working on. I still lack patience in many aspects. But it has definitely taught me patience, or it's teaching me patience currently. Not getting the closure that I perceive to be needed. It's teaching me patience, and it's also teaching me understanding. Understanding, because sometimes when you get hurt by another person, you know, the cliche saying or the usual saying, which is very true, hurt people, you know, a lot of the times that person isn't in the right mindset. They don't have the proper tools to be able to give you the closure that you think you need from them. They don't have the tools to say the things that you think that they should be able to say. Some people aren't even able to apologize because they don't yet see how they were wrong. So they're like, why should I have to apologize? I told you why I did this. Because X, Y, and Z. And even their reasoning is really harsh, cold, and hurtful. Very black and white, and almost kind of doesn't make sense in a way. Like, it makes sense, but at the same time, not really. You know? or they've made sense. Like they've kind of like forced it or morphed it in a way to where it can make sense, but it really kind of doesn't, you know. And this, again, this is me speaking from experience. I've had someone tell me, I'm just gonna give an example, a small one. I've had someone tell me that I don't motivate them. This was years ago. I'm 26 now. I was 18 at the time, or 19. And I had this person tell me I don't motivate them. When they said that, and, you know, shortly after that, not shortly, but like a while after that, you know, we parted ways. We drifted apart. But that's one thing that used to constantly ring in my ear. That would ring in my ear. And the whole time that I'm dealing with this person, the feelings of, I feel like I'm not being given a chance. I feel like I'm not being heard. I feel like I'm being treated like shit. You know, I feel like I'm being blocked out. I feel like a wall's put up in front of me. And I feel like I'm being used, you know, but that's my perception. The whole time this is what's rotating in me. And then now that he said that, that also is cycling and cycling and cycling. And it turned into frustration and anger. It turned into anger because my mindset was like, okay, well, I mean, wouldn't we, let me be realistic. Okay. At that time, what was I really thinking? I was thinking, well, you didn't motivate me either. Like, you know, you didn't motivate me either. So how is that fair for you to just leave me? And you didn't even ask me. You told me I didn't do something that you never discussed with me. And you're telling me that's the reason why you're not happy around me, you know? As an adult, it makes complete sense in a way, because you do want someone in your life that does motivate you, among other things. But at that time I was just so angry, so upset. I remember not immediately texting him after that, but I remember I was very passive aggressive if I did get around him. And because I was afraid to express myself directly if I was upset or angry, because I was afraid they would run away, you know, or I was afraid that I was wrong even though I felt the way I did. You're never wrong for having the feelings that you do. It's what you do after feeling that way, how you respond to that. I responded in sending paragraphs, and I never cussed anybody out. I never called names, but I used to guilt trip. I used to use the shit out of guilt tripping. And I don't think I realized it. I realized it, but I didn't. You know, I'd be so hurt that I'm like, no, I want you to feel what I'm feeling. I want you to understand what I'm feeling. You know, be fair. That was my mindset at the time. But a lot of times he either, you know, he would respond, but it would and then, you know, when you're texting or talking on the phone, that person has the option to hang up or stop texting. And that triggers you. That used to trigger the shit out of me. And I would go back. I'm like, I'll be calling. Go back. This doesn't make you crazy. It doesn't make you crazy. But you're very unstable. And that's when you need to step back, breathe, and find where that imbalance is coming from. Yes, that person played a part in that pain or in that confusion, that anger, but there's a source. There's a source as to where it all starts. My source, which I had to go through more to realize, I had to go through another tough experience to wake up and realize many things, but I realized that my source issue in all of that mess was I was not connected with myself. I didn't know who I was, really. I mean, I was 18, but I wasn't even really on the journey to getting to know who I was. I was, but I wasn't conscious of it. I was not conscious or awakened at all. So everything outside of me was what was important. That's what I was focused on. You know, I was focused on what was immediately outside of me, and trying to gain gratification from that. Another part of that source was, I felt like in reality at the time, I was kind of just going with the motions. So, or no, I was doing what I was told. I was in my first year of college at that time. So, you know, I was going to school. I was doing what I felt I had to do, but I really had no idea, excuse me, what my next big step was, what my big goals were, what I wanted to be, what my purpose was. None of that. So I had nothing to motivate anyone on. Not even myself. I couldn't motivate myself. You know? So, you know, a lot of the times you have to see where the source of your instability comes from. When you have alarms going off in your head, when you're extremely triggered, you're allowed to feel those emotions. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be hurt. Okay? And you're allowed to make the decision that you're going to make in response to those emotions. But you also need to consider. Okay? Consider what that is going to do for you. How is that going to benefit? Is it going to bring you closure? Or is it really going to hurt you? Is it really going to just be another lesson that you've ended up having to teach yourself? And are you going to learn from it? Being able to give yourself closure. And let me even talk about what closure is. Closure to me is the feeling of being okay, even though something hasn't gone your way, or something hasn't gone the way you hoped. That is, that's also to me, the definition of acceptance. But there's acceptance in closure. You have to accept the way things ended in order to gain closure, in order to move forward. You have to accept your present moment. You have to accept the way things are in order for you to move forward, and move forward confidently. It also helps you to open yourself up. It helps you to open yourself up. Giving yourself that closure and doing that work also helps you to open yourself up to better experiences. When you accept where you are right now and you're grateful for that, you're grateful for the experience that you went through, and to where you had to give yourself closure, you open yourself up to so much possibility, whether it be in love, friendships, relationships, just anything. A job ending, you've had to give yourself closure. You know, wherever you believe you've had to give yourself closure or accept something, you open yourself up to so much more, to growth, expansion, and to wisdom. I really wish that I could talk with you guys live, because I want to hear some of you guys' stories and comments, so that we can discuss more. I like to talk with you guys like you're my friends. You know, I like to be real and authentic with you guys. And that's what I want from you guys. I want you guys to feel comfortable enough to be able to talk with me and talk in front of other people. And be able to realize, like, we all go through the bullshit. We all have gone through the bullshit. Okay? So, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and close this there. It was about 20 minutes. That was a decent amount of time. If you guys have any opinions, any stories that you'd like to tell, any situations where you believe you've had to give yourself closure, where you feel like you were wronged and didn't get any closure, please let me know down in the comments. Like, I will respond. If I don't get to you, I'll try my best to get to you. I'm gonna look through all. I hate texting, but I will do it for this. I will do it for this. Okay. I'm trying to think of anything else. I did want to go in and do like a mini reading. I decided at the end of some of my unheard women talks, I might do a reading in a couple of them if I felt drawn to, and I did on this one. So I wanted to see what some of you guys were, where some of you guys were needing closure and how to give yourself that, even though I kind of discussed it in this video. So I guess I'll go ahead and go into that. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. So where are some of you guys needing closure? This one, uncomfortable. It says uncomfortable. This is the first time I'm actually seeing this card. I don't know why it's not focusing. It usually focuses automatically. I may have changed the setting, but this one says uncomfortable. I don't know. Some of you guys are uncomfortable in this space of not knowing, in the space of silence maybe. And you're needing some sort of closure. You're uncomfortable kind of floating in the air. I get an in the air type of energy, like up in the air. So, and it's uncomfortable for you. So I want to see what this is about. So what is this uncomfortable energy about? I'm going to get these 2. What are you uncomfortable about? What is it that you're uncomfortable about? Okay, consciousness, the Ace of Swords, that's clarity. So, oh, there we go, yeah. So yeah, consciousness, that's clarity, that's the Ace of Swords. That's also about new beginnings, new starts. So you're uncomfortable, you're up in the air. You may not have much clarity on a certain situation. So let me see. 9 of Cups, this has to do with something that you've been wishing for. Something you've either been dreaming about. Something you've had your hopes set on for a while. And you just don't know. Oh, and I have the Lovers and... I didn't know 2 fell out. I have the Lovers and the Queen of Pentacles. Which says flowering. For you. There we go. So... automatically with the Lovers, and I feel like I'm talking to divine feminines because of the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a queen who has herself balanced. She has her emotions balanced out. She has her things in her physical world balanced out and organized, so that if she ever needs to make any moves or decisions, take any actions, she consults with herself first before making any moves. And she considers the consequences, good or bad, before making any decisions. She doesn't worry herself. She considers them, but she doesn't worry herself. She doesn't stress herself. Okay? And she also makes sure the connection between her mind and her heart is in alignment, so that she quiets the voice of her ego telling her, no, don't do this because this might happen. So just in case, don't do it. No, she silences that voice and turns up the voice of her intuition and says, look, anything could come about from this, but you know your intention. You know the purpose as to why you're doing this. And you're moving forward in trust. So there's purity and genuity in that. So that's what this Queen of Pentacles is about. And I mean, the Lovers is the Lovers. This could be family, friends, or actual love. So you're uncomfortable in this space of not knowing where things could end up between you and another person. And this has you unstable. This has you worried, concerned. Let me see where. What else? Self-esteem. It's affecting the way you see yourself. I'm really waiting for this to clear up. I don't know, man. There we go. Yeah. So it says, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Let me see. I'm looking at this one. Health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So your worry is affecting your health. This anxiety that you're putting yourself through because you don't know, because you want to know. Maybe some of you are digging through social media trying to see where someone is, what someone's doing, and how someone's doing it. You need to bring that focus back to you. Stop looking outside of you for some sort of answer or confirmation and come back to you. Stop looking outside of you for closure. Come back to you, okay? And stabilize your energy. Stabilize yourself. Find balance. Find your balance. Find your center. Go within yourself and find where that instability lies. Where is that instability lying? And be honest with yourself too. You have to be with, if no one else is going to be honest with you, you must be honest with yourself. Why am I so anxious? Why am I so scared? Why do I need to know? Why do I need to know where this person is, what they're doing, and how? All right. And then your self-esteem. That also goes along with health. All right. Right now, your view of yourself, the way you see yourself, it may be warped. You may feel like you're not good enough. Okay. And this is just like pouring into me, like this information is just pouring into me right now. But you may feel like you're not good enough in order for your wishes to come true or to get what your heart truly desires, but you are more than good enough. You're just not ready yet. All right. You're not ready to get that yet. You're on the path towards getting that. But as you're on this path, certain experiences and certain lessons are showing themselves to you, and what's going to help you move forward onto the next step is how you're going to respond to that, how you're going to respond to these experiences, and how you're going to respond to your emotions. How are you going to utilize what you've learned? Because there are certain things that are going to reappear, like rear themselves back up to you. They're going to show back up to you, and you're going to be like, I've been through this before. How did I handle it last time? How am I going to handle it now? That's what you need to be asking yourself. Let me pull one more, or get another closure card. I'm going to consider it issues of closure. Where is someone else needing closure? Where is someone else needing closure? Shocking. I have shocking. So some of you may have heard some information that shocked you, and you're having a hard time trying to process that or move on from what you've heard. Okay? Or what something you've realized. I'm not for sure, but let's see. So shocking. Shocking. Let's see what this shocking energy is about. Does this have to do with? What does this have to do with? I wasn't going to take it, but I'll take it. I'll consider it. What's this shocking energy have to do with? Okay. So, I have the 6 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, which is anxiety, and Page of Swords, which says the mind. And so this is the 9 of Swords and the Page of Swords. You're stuck in your head. The 9 of Swords here says sorrow. You're stuck in your head. You're caught in these clouds. You see that fog, the chimneys that are puffing that smoke, all this fog around this person. And all these walls too. This is the swords are about the mind. These walls are in your mind. You're constricting and limiting yourself right now and you're hyper focused on the negative right now. You're focused on this news, something that has shaken you up. Okay, let me see. Yeah, and it's causing confliction in you. Let me pull something else. What is this shocking about? What is this shocking energy about? Okay, so I have patience and growth. Patience says, I accept everything that happens in divine order. I was just talking about acceptance. You have to get into acceptance in order to grow and move forward. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Okay. So whatever this news was that shocked you and maybe compromised your stability, because even though this card, the 6 of Pentacles, says compromise, I'm going to use that word compromise. Maybe it compromised your stability. Like I said, it shook you up. this Six of Pentacles is also about balance. I was just saying before, and I think I said it 2 or 3 times now, you're needing to balance yourself out. And this is Six of Pentacles. So it helps whenever you clean up. All right. So it helps whenever you clear your space. Sorry, my video stopped. It helps whenever you clear your space. I always advise buy a journal. When you write things down, whatever if you're ever needing to release some sort of anxiety, okay, Nine of Swords. If you're needing to release these anxieties, these thoughts that keep going round and round and round and round and round in your head, you keep repeating certain things in your head, put it down on paper and write it down so you can see it for yourself. And that way you are actually releasing it. You get to see your feelings in the physical. You get to physically see your feelings. You get to see what things stand out to you. And that does raise your consciousness and your awareness about yourself. You become aware of where the instability lies, aware of why you're so anxious and so scared or so shocked about this. Let me use this one real quick. What else about this shocking news? And then this Eight of Pentacles. This Eight of Pentacles, I'm going to show it to you. That fell, but this Eight of Pentacles, I think the crystal ball card just fell, which means future. So you're really worried about the future now. But this Eight of Pentacles, I see peace, okay? The only way you're going to find inner peace after having this news shake you up. Oh, no, in a minute. So after having this news shake you up, and the way you're going to find inner peace is by, like I said before, grounding and centering. Clear your space. Wherever you spend the time the most, clear your space so that you have space to breathe and so you have space to think. Not obsessively think, but you have space to do that introspective work. You're not just up here, you're up here and trying to get them into alignment so that you can hear your intuition better, you can hear yourself better. I talk to myself so much. And when you do that, you end up saying things that make that bring you to certain epiphanies, that awaken you to certain things. Like, wow, I never realized that. You can teach yourself certain things just by talking. Get a journal. Okay? Now, the one that I pulled was the Spirit of the Tower. Big changes. Something shook you up. Surprises, shifts, and big changes. All right, I'm going to show you one more time. Something had shaken you up. But this tower moment is meant to help you grow. It's going to bring you on to your next part of the journey. But you need to find closure after discovering whatever it is that you discovered. And at the bottom of the deck, I have Spirit of Gaia, which says Mother Earth, Family, and Creation. I take this as a grounding card. There is a grounding card in here, but I take this as another grounding card. Get grounded. Okay, I feel like I'm talking to feminines. Get grounded right now. Get into your divine feminine energy. In fact, no. Balance your divine feminine energy and your divine masculine energies. Okay, so that you can ground. The masculine energy keeps you right here in the physical. Okay, because the masculine energy is very action oriented, very focused on what you can see, touch, and smell, like just very focused on what's here. They don't really consider the intangible. The feminines are focused on emotions. They're focused on the spiritual. They consider other people's emotions, consider consequences, that's where the feminine side comes in, so you're needing to balance those out. You're needing to balance these energies out so that you can prepare yourself for this next part in your journey. You need to find this closure so you can prepare yourself for this next part of your journey. All right. Get out of your head. And be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. It is a process to get closure. At the beginning of this video, I said, I am still learning patience. I said that. I am still learning patience. So we are learning this together, boo. And then one more for shadows, or not shadows, but what you need. Where are you needing closure? Let me see. I know how you get down. Irresponsible. I'm laughing at the picture. Yes, but this says irresponsible. So maybe you feel like you've either made an irresponsible decision, or you feel like you are irresponsible, and I can relate with this one in a way, because I fear failing myself. My fear is failing myself. So even I'm doing this right, but I could still be thinking I'm not doing enough. I'm being lazy. What's the next thing I need to do? This isn't it, but as I'm doing and saying all of this to myself, I am not being genuine. Even if I create after doing and saying all this and I post it for you guys, and then I see you guys haven't watched it, you still haven't watched it, no comments, no likes, and I'm now angry, I'm envious of everybody else. That means I didn't create from a genuine space. I created because I felt like I had to. I created because I feel like I'm being lazy. I created because I feel like I'm not doing enough, because this person created this, because this person posted 5 videos in one day or 5 videos in a week, and I've only done 2. I'm comparing myself, so it's no longer genuine, and I'm dissatisfied. And even if I did get viewers, I probably would still be dissatisfied because it didn't come from a genuine space. And I'm comparing how many viewers I got to how many they got. Okay? So I can relate with this, because even in those moments, you have to give yourself closure. You have to be patient with yourself. And remind yourself you're going at the pace that you're meant to be going at. You will know 100% if you are being lazy, or if you're not trying as hard as you could. Not because other people are telling you that. They have nothing to do with that. And it's not going to be a harsh judgment. It's not going to be like, wow, you're really lazy. You're really not doing enough. Wow, you're terrible. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like, well, you haven't posted in a minute. You should probably put something there. What is it you've been talking to yourself a lot about? Make that a topic. Do it. Yeah, that's really good. If it's something you would fuck with, other people might fuck with it too. So do it. That's genuine. Because it's a calm feeling, It's something you really are interested in. It's something you really like to do, So if you're feeling irresponsible, or you feel like you've done something irresponsibly, let's see what your message is. What is this irresponsible energy? Perseverance. So keep going. Don't give up. And I am looking at this one. Is there any other? No, not really. Courage. Perseverance and courage. Courage says, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Perseverance says, I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So it takes courage to persevere. It takes courage to move forward and do it anyway. Whatever it is, it takes courage to move forward and do it anyway. It takes perseverance. Like I said, it takes courage in order to persevere. It takes a lot of strength. Like I said, if no one viewed this video here and I decided to keep doing what I'm doing, it takes a lot of courage and strength for me to keep doing that. Because I could choose like, oh, I'm embarrassed. Nobody watch my shit. I'm just going to give up and work this 9 to 5 and be good. And just be unhappy for the rest of my life. That's doing myself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice if you give up. Okay, you're meant to persevere. You're meant to discover and fulfill your purpose. Okay? But you need to be patient with yourself, and you need to be patient with the process and understand that it is a process, and accept and be grateful for where you are right now. You have come very far. You have come very far because this journey is not easy. Okay, it's not as hard as we all perceive it to be, but it is definitely not easy. So let me see what else this is about. What is this irresponsibility about? Okay. So I have the Four of Wands, which is stability and balance. I have, and it says participation. I have Beyond Illusion, which is the Judgment card. Is Judgment. Make sure I don't have a nip slip. I have Justice. So I have Judgment and Justice, which says breakthrough. And the Ten of Cups, which says harmony. You see where the dolphins are and where the glowing points are? The center of his forehead and the center of his chest, which is meant to be his heart. There needs to be harmony between your mind and your heart. There needs to be flow. You see those dolphins? Dolphins flow. They move with the waves. They never swim against the waves because it's easier as they go with the school of dolphin that's with them. Okay? It's easier to move with the waves than resist them. Whatever waves of change that is happening in your life, or whatever has happened in your life, move with the flow. Do not stay stuck in feelings of regret or anxiety or guilt. Don't keep yourself stuck. You are the only one that can keep yourself stuck in that place, in the past. You need to forgive yourself and work up the courage. Find that inner courage that you do have within yourself and persevere and continue to move forward, telling yourself that you are fully capable, that you have learned from that, and you are fully capable of learning whatever else you need to learn and moving forward. And you're going to get to fulfill your desires and your purpose. And then the Judgment and Justice. You're wanting to set things straight. You're wanting to do the right thing somewhere. You're judging yourself harshly, but you are wanting to do the right thing somewhere. You knew you were irresponsible. Okay, you knew you were irresponsible. And you see where you're irresponsible and you want to bring stability. You want to set things right. You want to bring balance to whatever the situation might be about. But I am hot, guys, and I'm hungry. But what's it called? You need to find the stability within yourself first before you can bring stability or justice to any situation. If you are not stable, you cannot offer this to any situation. And then when you become stable, when you find your center and that stability within yourself, you need to bring it back to the acceptance and understanding that if there's another person involved, they have the free will to handle the situation however they see fit. But the important part of this is that you've forgiven yourself. You're not judging yourself harshly. That you are in a state of acceptance and flow, regardless of the outcome of whatever the situation is about, and that you're able to move forward. That is your main focus, not on what this other person is going to say and how they're going to respond. You do hope for the best, but you don't expect anything. Don't expect anything, because that's going to throw you off balance again. Okay? You're going to get thrown off balance during this journey sometimes. That's okay, but you don't want to put yourself in the way, trying to force or control anything. That's putting yourself in the way to trip, pretty much. And I want to pull from here. I'm gonna get these last messages for this irresponsible. Ooh, guys, I'm hungry. Okay. So if this does have to do with goals that you have, keep moving forward. It takes a lot of courage to continue to move forward and support yourself. Like, you have support. I believe you're always supported by your divine guidance. And if you have a support system, by them too. But you have to support yourself first. You do have to be in support of yourself first. All right. So I have Spirit of the Skulls, depression, illness, melancholy. You're telling yourself negative things. You're telling yourself you can't do this. That you're not good enough, you're not doing enough. Get out of this mindset, get out of this energy, because you're weighing yourself down and that slows you down. Okay, that slows you down. And earlier I got health, and in this card it says illness. So all that negative talk, all that negative judgment, that heavy energy, you're making yourself sick. You know, it's kind of like you're filling your space with toxins, and you're just breathing that in constantly. You don't want to breathe that in. You want to breathe in fresh energy, fresh invigorating energy, reviving energy. You want to breathe that in, and you want that to emanate from you. You want to be a source of that yourself, for yourself, okay? So that you don't become an energy vampire or a drainer, you know, and so that your energy isn't drained from anybody else because it's so stable and strong. Then I have the spirit of the lion, leader, recognition, and respect. Okay, so like I said, if this is about goals for you, this is meant for you. You are meant to be a leader. You are meant to be recognized, and you are meant to gain this respect. Okay, but you need to do the work first. I think earlier in one of my decks, I got the Ace of Swords, and I got the Spirit of the Air here, which says clarity, awareness, and truth. Honesty came through earlier. Clarity, awareness, and truth. And then where's that Ace of Swords? Oh, goodness. Food. Where's the Ace of Swords? I think I put it back, guys. Sorry. But I had the Ace of Swords. But clarity, awareness, and truth. And then there's honesty. Whew. You have to, what's it called? In order to gain this clarity, you got to stop telling yourself these negative things. Okay? Find closure in the irresponsible actions that you took. Find closure, forgive yourself, and learn from that. Any mistake that you've ever made was meant to be made so that you can learn from it. The only time it becomes a genuine mistake is when you keep doing it and you choose not to learn from it at all. Then you're choosing to be stupid. You know, I believe it's okay to be ignorant. I'm ignorant. I am ignorant. It's okay to be ignorant. There are things I just don't know. But I'm willing to learn, so I'm not stupid, and you can't call me stupid. The only time you become stupid is when you know you're ignorant, you know you don't know something, and you're now choosing not to know, and you're choosing not to learn. Okay, that's when you become stupid. Nobody, I don't believe anybody's stupid, but you can make yourself stupid. I definitely believe that. Excuse me. And then I have Spirit of the Fox, which is sly, cunning, and strategy. Right now is the time for you to strategize and plan. Right now is the time for you to strategize and plan. Bring yourself this closure and start strategizing and planning. And once you bring yourself this closure, you will gain clarity. Things will make sense, and you'll understand why things had to happen the way they did. Okay? So I'm going to close this message here, or close this this Unheard Women Talk here. Please, again, leave comments if you have any stories or any questions. If you have questions about personal readings, I do give personal readings. Please shoot me an email, which will be down in the description box. And I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of the day. Mwah.